Luna Snow is often regarded as the best strategist in Marvel Rivals, yet Cloak and Dagger have both higher pick rates and win rates, so what gives? Picking the right support is like picking the right Pokemon. You can't just choose legendaries and expect to win every game. You need to know why you're picking your hero. Today, we're going to discuss the 3 core archetypes of supports and then attribute each of these archetypes on a hero per hero basis. The goal is to help you understand your matchups better while improving win rates and making learning new heroes a little easier. I will also do my best to provide the best matchups and best support options per each hero, provided by a combination of statistics as well as friends who have expertise on these heroes. Let's start with a broad understanding of these archetypes. Starting off with the lifelines. Lifelines are labeled as such because of how necessary they are to both the long-term survival as well as the short-term defense with their ults. Every support heals, but these healers make it their primary focus. Literally, it's their primary fire oftentimes. As such, it's recommended that every team have at least one, especially in uncoordinated groups. Now, at this point, we would talk about what these heroes are best against, but these are supports and they don't interact with the game in the same way. They're much more playing chess whilst everyone else is playing the more standard, third-person shooter elements. So instead, let's talk about what they're best at supporting. And lifelines are wonderful at supporting brawl comps, but are weak against more poke-based comps. They have healing via high healing per second primary fire, typically focusing mostly on single targets. Their defense specialty is in stuns. They have rapid healing, ults, and abilities, and they have medium damage frequency, meaning that they're not often the ones dealing damage, but it comes often enough. Next are the Playmakers, who are slowly becoming more of a main or core healer, but still for the time being are a flex category. Slowly, ever so slowly, we're watching this category as NetEase continues to update the game, go from the fast moving but low healing supports to the faster moving supports with group healing focuses. 2 of these supports can absolutely make up enough for your team to have heals, but you'll end up lacking a true defensive ult, which is often not recommended. They're strong at supporting dive comps, weak against brawl comps. They get their healing via medium healing per second primary fire typically, or alternate fire on bigger groups, and they have a defense specialty on escape and damage enabling ults and abilities, and a lower damage frequency. The last category is the Guardian category, and this is the true flex support category. It's almost impossible, or at least highly impractical, for you to only have these supports for your core healing. However, these are often the heart of any triple support team comp and are a great way to carry the slack for both the tanks and your DPSs if need be. They are great at supporting poke, they're weaker against dive, and they have healing via low heal per second, fire and forget secondaries or abilities. Oftentimes, it's not their primary fire that's doing the healing, it's often some other ability or secondary fire that doesn't really need to be monitored. They have defense specialty in tanking, and they have utility-focused ults and abilities. And similarly, they have a high damage frequency. These are the supports that are going to be oftentimes dealing as much damage or similar to it as other DPSs. Now let's talk about this on a hero per hero basis. But before we get into this, guys, help me out. Wait, don't skip. I know you're tempted to, but I have some really big, scary stuff coming up. I'm getting married. I'm getting into a home. I flat out don't have enough money, just point blank. And I know it's really scummy for me to be asking stuff, but I felt like you guys want to have me around, so I figured I would humble myself and say, if you guys want to support us, please consider checking us out on Patreon. Just a simple $3 a month really means a lot, okay? Trust me, this is uncomfortable for me too. Thank you for listening. Let's get going. Adam Warlock is 100% a Guardian. Adam's defense comes not from his ability to escape, everybody knows that one, but rather from his ability to stand his ground. Previously, the Guardian category, like we talked about, was called utility, and he's a major reason why. He defines this archetype and provides most of his true value from utility-based abilities and damage rather than just his healing. His niches are that he has a damage reduction tool, excellent range and damage with his primary fire, and his healing comes in burst, which could be pretty helpful in certain teams. Now again, this is about the time we talk about what these heroes are good at countering, but these are support, so let's talk about what they're best at supporting. Doctor Strange, Namor, and Luna Snow. All of these heroes either have a team up with them, or they're really good at enabling Adam Warlock's more weaker movement skills and allowing him to stand his ground and really get his value off. Next is Cloak and Dagger, who is an 80-20 Lifeline, and Playmaker. It's better to think of these two as Dagger and Cloak, as while Cloak is a necessary portion to their kit, he's designed more to supply escape, damage, and utility, and then leave. Together, they form possibly the most offensively focused, lifeline-based heroes the game has to offer. Both single target and AoE heals, damage, and amps are a great niche for them. They're extremely easy to use. And lastly, they have an offensively capable defensive ult. While other supports, of course, can use their ultimates, their defensive ults offensively, Cloak and Dagger uniquely is really good at this, which allows them to push up fights which might normally suffer a little bit. They're best with heroes like Magneto, Blade, mostly because of the team up. However, I would recommend giving him a shot with Wolverine. That damage amp can be nasty, and Adam Warlock for similar reasons. Damage amp can mean a lot, and they provide a good escape tool for Adam Warlock if he gets jumped. Next, Invisible Woman, who is a 50-50 Lifeline and Guardian. She is a fantastic hero for players who need to keep themselves and their team alive in ways that healing isn't often going to cut it. Buffs have focused her more on keeping the team close and making enemies disappear. She has excellent crowd control tools. Of course, she is one of the few heroes that have stealth, and she has a stackable healing, possibly one of the best healing for groups in the game, while still having single target healing focuses. She is best with the Thing, obviously for team-ups, and just general playstyle. Human Torch, again for team-ups, but try this out with Winter Soldier as well. And Jeff, as Jeff can cover quite a few of the Invisible Woman's weaknesses while also supplying and bettering some of the strengths that she already has. Speaking of Jeff, next up is Jeff the Landshark, who is an 80-20 Playmaker and Lifeline. Rivals can't decide whether they want Rocket or Jeff to be the representation of the fast little funny guy with more reserved group healing. Jeff's latest ult buff makes him more inclined for a partial healer, primary healer role. However, it's still not large enough to justify him as a true lifeline, as a true main healer, though he is pretty close. I believe the community rates him a little lower than he should be generally on tier list and stuff, particularly his ult, which grants a DPS style pressure without sacrificing heals now. His niche is that he provides speed boost and personally has really good mobility. He has a really unique ult that can often circumvent a lot of the other support ults in the game, and he has piercing, AoE damage, and heals, which is great for groups. He's best with Venom and Storm, obviously for team-up reasons, as well as his general playstyle support, and again, Invisible Woman for, again, similar reasons. You're gonna get a little back and forth between when we're talking about best wits here. Our next hero is Loki, who is a 50-50 Guardian and Playmaker. Loki is the reason Rivals calls their heroes strategist and not supports. Loki has received several nerfs over the course of the game, and his runes of regeneration still carry him. He is almost never a bad choice, but his requirement on positioning can lead to those who pick him to struggle, and likewise, while his abilities are strong, on average they have a much longer cooldown. His niche is that he has abilities that shut down almost anything. Regeneration rune is insane. He has highly adaptable damage, ult, and healing. He also has access to stealth, just like Invisible Woman, and he's great with more brawling type heroes that might need a big burst of heal, such as Hulk, Magic, and Mantis. Mantis obviously for the team up reasons, but she also provides a true support ult that Loki can copy. That works pretty well. Next is Luna Snow, who is 100% a lifeline. She is the healer of Marvel Rivals. Solid damage options and crowd controls in a pinch as well. Her ult can shift the fight in the blink of an eye. Everyone's familiar with Luna Snow because she's pretty much in every single game. Her niche is that she arguably has the best single ult in the game. Yeah, even after the nerfs, it's still really good. Extremely high healing and damage for when she wants to. She's a hit scan, which means she can address targets at most ranges, and she's great with heroes that like to get in there, such as Thor, Iron Fist for team-up reasons, and Adam Warlock similarly. But again, these also do complement her quite well, giving her some options for peel, which she can sometimes struggle with. Next is one of my favorite heroes in the game, Mantis, who is an 80-20 Guardian and Lifeline. Buffs are making her far better at healing tanks. We've talked about this previously, so we won't go too much into this, but Mantis is an interesting one. The closest thing you'll get to a DPS in the support role, and often she can be a great choice to fill in even if you're already playing DPS, and you won't really even notice much of a drop. She has high damage that doesn't distract from her healing. She has very easy heals, allowing her to keep most of the team alive even if you don't know what you're doing, as well as damage boost, which is unique, allowing certain heroes to open up new breakpoints for certain kills that maybe take a shot or two less. And she also, just like Luna Snow, has a mobile survival ult that actually doesn't disable her ability to fire. She's best with Groot, not only for team up reasons, but also good just general synergies and playstyle. Phoenix and Widowmaker both benefit from her damage boost significantly, and Loki. Again, we're gonna see a lot of similarities between heroes that are getting referenced back to each other. Second to last is Rocket, who is 100% a playmaker. Jeff left Rocket to define the playmaker archetype. Rocket's heals are mindlessly easy without costing him personal defense in the form of point-blank high damage or an escape tool. Unfortunately, the community has learned how to deal with his ultimate, and the dislike of his shielding is enough to actually give the motivation to focus it down 9 out of 10 times. Nevertheless, his niches are that he has high AoE heals that are very easy to pull off, excellent self-sustain with great mobility. He is really good with Penny for team-up reasons, but try him out with some dive throws such as Captain America, Star-Lord, team-up reasons, but again, Black Panther, all the dive throws will work really good here, and Ultron, as Ultron has a hard time getting heals, and Rocket's heals can actually mean a lot to him, while also covering some of his weaknesses. And for the new kid on the block, the last one on our list is Ultron, who is a 50-50 playmaker and guardian. He's flying Mantis that happened to grab some ability to provide overshields along the way. Ultron is the key to an enemy brawl tank's keyhole. While he's generally worse as an overall healer pick, he's incredible against team comps that literally can't do anything about him. There's a reason certain heroes, such as Ultron and Mantis, which generally are regarded lower in the community, have a higher win rate. It's because when you choose them correctly, they can be nigh unstoppable. Ultron absolutely fits this role. He has easy AoE heals, obviously he's a flyer, with extremely high hit scan damage. He's great with heroes that like to brawl and dive, such as Emma, Iron Man, who just can help him keep himself alive with his own personal sustain, and Cloak and Dagger, who can not only heal the Ultron, but also supply some of the area on ground for Ultron to clean up. So that's my list. Thank you guys so much for watching these. Expect to see a No Limits support tournament come this Friday, so definitely subscribe for that. And DPSs will be next week, hopefully Monday if all goes well. Thank you guys so much for your support. Be sure to check us out on Patreon if you want to help us keep going. Bless your faces and deuces.